issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the industry's latest technology. Upgrade to an Exact Emerge high-speed planter to cover more acres, increasing flexibility and productivity. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location to order your new John Deere planter and experience the Landmark difference.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior. Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at GarnerIndustries.com.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are here, Old School, out here at Buffalo Wings and Rings, but Old School is brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. I always say every type of meat, every type of cut. Go in there and ask them what's up. But we are at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney, a beautiful day, hot day, but everybody's on their way on the ride home listening to us. It's Customer Appreciation Day. They appreciate you so much. It's 59-cent wings all day, $5 pitchers of beer all day. Doors have been open since 10:30. Look, DP, I want to say this, man. Strickland showing up is a modern-day miracle.
Science.
My brother yesterday had a couple standing 8 counts, but he answered the bell every single time. I kept saying, Strick, you have got to finish. This is it. This is the NBA final. This is the Big 12 championship.
Don't tap out.
We need a stop.
Don't,
we need a score. We need a free throw. And guess what? When it came down to it, we had a goal. Jake set a goal for us to get to 10 under, and Strick made a birdie putt off the side of the green, manned up right there. Then we actually end up finishing 12 under. So Strick right there showed the competitive nature that's deep rooted in his blood.
That dog
in him. And, we had a good day. It was a good cause for junior achievement. But today we're Old School. A lot going on in different realms of sports. And, one thing, we know Sipple's been gone, right? So then the morning has been really good because Sipple's been gone. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of Bill Bush and Jake. But I want to get your thoughts about the camp. It's camp season, right? And we know one of the big hires for Matt Rule has been Doctor that pretty much ran all the camps in Texas, but we know it's camp season. So we know Matt Rule and company are in Houston, H-Town. We saw Matt Rule going down, I think, 610 Highway, I think, or wherever he was at, spreading, the word about Nebraska.
Little Jodeci.
Yeah, little Jodeci. I didn't look at it. I just saw where he was going.
Yeah, he was bumping Jodeci all my life.
Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, I like it, connecting there. And I want to ask your opinion, right? We know there's a mega camp in St. Louis, but Nebraska has chosen to go down in obviously in Texas where they have deep roots and connections. Do you agree with that decision or disagree with that decision? You can see it both ways. Look, you can't be everywhere. Or would you have rather seen them go half and half the staff at the big mega camp, half the staff in Houston? Or it's like, hey, look, we know Texas. We know H-Town. They just got Prince out of there. Want to continue. Look, Houston is a hotbed for national recruiting and undercover superior athletes on the football field, basketball as well. I mean, on the basketball court as well, but football. I agree with it, but I want to, know what your, opinion on it is.
I've said all along, Jay, that my hope is that everything is focused towards beating Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like everything, you're in the short window now, and you can spend your time chasing money or chasing wins. You cannot do both.
Right.
So every day that you make a choice, did you choose, look, we need to raise some money, which money makes everything go around. So I understand that.
Yeah.
But I also understand that Minnesota is waiting. Minnesota's waiting. And I want, yes, you're recruiting for next year or 2 years from now, but going to Houston doesn't help you beat Minnesota.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it's camp season. Nobody's really doing anything that's going to really set them up to get an advantage. Your advantage.
Yeah, but he getting paid. He get $9.2 million.
Right.
He got enough.
Right.
But you can get film study and make your team better, or you can go hunting down in Houston.
Yeah, but I mean, look, you can't be sitting at home right now when every coach of America is going out and it's camp season. This is what you need to do. And, ultimately, I think it's the right choice. I mean, look, the studying is getting done. The work is getting done. They have a huge staff. They do have a huge staff. So them going down and doing this like coaches clinic kind of camp and stuff like that. You
were right in that if you're going to do it, you split.
Right.
And conquer both.
Yeah, I see it both ways because, look, that big mega camp is going to be inundated. First of all, Colorado's there, right? And then, like the kind of Midwestern, that kind of corridor.
Yep.
But then also I see it to where, okay, look, this is what we know. The best thing that you can do as a new staff and new team is know what's successful, know who you are, how you've done it, and continue to do that, and then expand at the right time. I like it because, look, I'd rather, if I'm going to go down there and, let's just look at Colorado, because everybody around Nebraska loves to talk about Deion and Colorado. Nebraska's ahead of Colorado, not far, right? 1 win for Colorado, 4 for Nebraska, or 5 for Nebraska, whatever it may be, right? There's not too much, separation, but there is separation. So why would I need to go and maybe devil with that and get our message kind of convoluted, right? When Colorado's going to do there and be outlandish, where we can go to where we can really say, hey, look, we know the past staff has not been down here, okay, in probably over a decade. I can't even remember the last time in the heart of Houston. And both of us know Houston is a hotbed for football. So when we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. Not only we're going to do a camp, right, or be at a satellite camp,
a free camp,
satellite camp, but then also we're going to spread our wealth as far as a coaches clinic, because I think one thing when you do these coaches clinics, I think it's goodwill, because will you get a guy right out of there in 2024, right? Maybe not,
right.
But 25, 26, a lot of these coaches that are defensive coordinators, assistant coaches, go on to be head coaches other places, even sometimes in other states. So you're actually expanding your bandwidth faster by doing that, potentially, as long as you handle your business on the field.
That part, that if the focus for 90 days,
right,
90 days, that's all you got. And you can give Minnesota back the advantage by spending the day doing what they're doing, but they're ahead of you. So are you really helping yourself? If you beat Minnesota, you're much more attractive to all those Houston players than you going down there sales pitching them and then go and get your heads kicked into Minneapolis.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
like in the end, as you like to say, you got to win. Like
you got to
win on the field. This on the field thing has to be the first thing.
Right. If Minnesota wasn't out actively doing what Nebraska's doing, then I'd totally agree with it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think it'd do more damage for Nebraska to be here, and everybody else is out essentially recruiting, right? You're out recruiting. I mean, it's camp season massaged as recruiting.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Right. Fair.
Okay? So you're the only school decides to stay home and not recruit. You know what that sounds like?
Yeah.
You know what it sounds like, DP, that we saw? I'm not going to answer a couple questions at the straight up.
That was Indianapolis. We literally, our jaws hit the table.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. The team that you played in the first game, Pat Fitzgerald, got up there, sold his program. This is what we're going to do. Ryan Day. Mel Tucker, James Franklin, PJ Fleck, everybody. So here's what I'm saying.
Copy success.
Okay, yeah, exactly. If you are going to be the one school, essentially, not only in the Big Ten, and this is what they're not doing. This is why I agree with what they're doing. If you're going to be the team that says, you know what, we're not going to recruit. We've had every coach. There's been coaches here. This is not even talking about the last staff. There's been head coaches here that refuse to recruit.
Yep.
There's been assistant coaches after Coach Osborne retired that decided they didn't like recruiting anymore, and that was the kind of snowball that led to the avalanche.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you decide to do something that not everybody else is doing, I think you set yourself up for being set back double time. Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I say people ask sometimes when I'm traveling, like, what happened to Nebraska? Well, it was timing, because the state of college football changed. Right. ESPN 1, 2, 3, Deportes, everything became on, right?
DirecTV, like the whole thing.
So then, therefore, the advantage Nebraska had were winning, and then kids would come here and wait a couple years, right? Because they were winning, but then they knew that they weren't coming to Nebraska expected to start right away.
Right.
Well, now if you are a kid from, say, like Florida, and you go to, say, Arkansas State, because they recruited heavily in Florida, right? Arkansas State was never on TV, maybe once a year. But now they're on TV 5 or 6 times. Look at the MAC, right? Playing games on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and now they have like their wheelhouse. Now those Florida kids, right, that might not be going, obviously not going to Florida State, Florida, Tennessee, all South, they're getting bypassed, but they're up in, Bowling Green. Well, guess what? Mom and dad, you know what? They don't have to get in the car and drive over there. They can see you 6 times a year on national TV.
Yep.
Right. So that's what I think hurt Nebraska.
And ESPN Plus, where every game is on.
Every game. And that's not even counting, all the different other,
Well, their
networks.
personal streaming. Each school has its own streaming.
Right. So everything, plus then obviously changing the total offense, which now, the offense that, Callahan didn't want to run is actually what people are running now, but that's a whole nother day. But I think
that's good, though. That's good that you bring that up.
It is. People are so everybody talks about RPO, really. And really all you're doing is running Nebraska's tight option, and you're just displacing at what we had was a fullback or somebody else and running different formations. And it's still the same amount of guys on the field, but you're out doing it out on the edge. And this is what I wanted to ask you about, right? As we go along, and obviously, I think it's a week after Logan Smothers has decided to go to Jacksonville State. Great for him, great for Nebraska. And then so now we're setting in on Jeff Sims. Now the battle for number 2 needs to be what's on the airways. Essentially, you said 3 months. It needs to be on for the next 4 months because it's got to be an ongoing battle, right? But as you start to come to terms with this, and then we're thinking about the RPO and where we're at as far as a football team, I want to ask your opinion is do you think this kind of running quarterback that can be controlled passing game is where they're going to is where they're starting, and maybe it'll end up being a different type of offense in 2025?
Yes, I think the decision making, the talent brought in says we're not going to spread it out and throw it around. We don't have those people.
Right.
We don't have the talent to match what Marcus Satterfield wants to do with his offense. You look at South Carolina and you say, okay, we saw what that was.
Right.
You don't have the talent that South Carolina had a year ago. So what do? You get a quarterback who could pick up and chaos around him. He can make positive yards happen without turning the ball over. Short throws in short space. He knows what to do. Offensive line that you're not sure about what you're getting. You think they're better than maybe they think they are. And that you can lean heavily on a ground game that keeps the quarterback out of trouble and keeps him on the field.
Yeah.
Right? That he's not going to get beat up. We're not asking him to zone read everything. We're asking him to give us 4 yards and get out. That's what that tells me. The talent put in place tells me that, listen, a running quarterback who can throw, make the short throws, the safe throws, that seems to be what they picked up for.
And let me ask you this, DP, before we go to break, is do you agree with me or disagree with me, or kind of like mid agree with me that I think that Nebraska, when I've looked at what the offensive staff has done at Temple and Baylor and South Carolina, right, trying to just kind of formulate some sort of assumption or guesstimation what they're going to be, is that I think what I like is that potentially that they're trying to be physical, right? But they also know, okay, maybe we got some deficiencies, right? We got injuries and we got a little bit of deficiency, and we'll see but we got our offense. We got Bryce Benhart in better shape. We're waiting for Teddy to come around. We picked up a couple guys in the transfer portal. Okay, we feel good about up the middle, right?
You got Nori back. You brought in Ben Scott, who's a legitimate starter.
And then whether it's Turner or whatever, you feel good up the middle.
Yeah.
You feel decent good up the middle.
Right.
Do you think a little bit of under the radar decision, if this is the decision, to try to become more physical out on the edge, essentially to coach around your deficiency? And here's why, right? Like, with the new young wide receiver and the plethora of receivers that they brought in and the size that they've brought in at some position, particularly tight end, okay? But then also receivers that have, from the Baylor transfer. Obviously, I think, having Betts back, he's probably going to stretch the field, but the emphasis on blocking on the edge and also guys that can catch the ball, get upfield, and finish runs. You can become physical out on the edges, and then as you hopefully continue to mature and get better with your conventional run game, right? Now, they're talking about the size of Gabe Ervin. Gabe Ervin's been talked about it seems like every press conference, right? So do you think that's a good sneaky maybe decision that people are, look, it's not sexy to write about that you're going to be physical on the edges, but you as a former coach, right? Former play caller, understand when I'm saying it, you understand, okay, yeah, you can become physical because if you can pound people out on the outside, you can hit that sideline, that's where explosive plays come from.
If you believe that you're more likely stronger than you are faster,
right,
then I'm gonna start from the middle of the field.
Right.
I'm going to extend out. I need to win from tackle to tackle. And if I can, then extending the space where my runners who are talented up the middle,
right,
I can win those battles. I can win half the field or from center to left tight end.
Right.
If I can win in that space, and I'm more likely to do that because I don't need the talent that Michigan has in that space. I just have to match. And I can outnumber them.
Right.
Because I can put a third tight end in, sledgehammer that at the point of impact, let Nuri, Scott win from the middle field over. And if I win from Scott to hash mark on either side, I'm in every game.
Right.
I'm in every game. Every drive has the possibility that 4 yards in a cloud of dust, well, Nebraska better lean on it. And that's getting 4 yards from Jeff Sims on a drop back if things break down. A 4-yard throw is much more efficient and safe than an 8-yard throw and a 12-yard throw.
Yeah, I like that. You know what? In the next segment, I really want to dive into you being obviously a coach, but a former play caller. I want to ask you. I already know the answer, but I want people to understand the difference between, I call them sustainable drives that sometimes don't lead to points versus, I think the fans, sometimes media people that evaluate games are like, well, if you don't go 80 and score, well, then you're a bad play caller or you're not a good offense. I want to talk about the difference because I think with this staff, what they potentially be doing, and I feel like they think, okay, we are good enough football coaches, right? I always say once we get even, we leaving because I think some of the decisions that they're making, they're saying it without saying it, right? They're saying, look, we're doing what we're supposed to do. Don't give us credit. But I want to dive into your mind about that because it's not setting expectations, but it's also educating people on how to watch the game more efficiently and effectively so you can properly evaluate it and then obviously support the team. So I want to dive into DP's brain and ask him about that. This is Jay Foreman, DP, Old School, coming to you from Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney, Customer Appreciation Day. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Sartor Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Sartor Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Aloe is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Aloe has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Aloe as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Aloe communities.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey Lincoln, this is Ramel Lloyd. I'm from the Boys and Girls Club. I've got some exciting news I want to share today for our youth. We're having a junior NBA camp coming up, June 12th through June 30th. The times are 11 a.m. to 4:15. We're going to have some exciting games, some great speakers, great guests. It's going to be a great time. So we want to see you out there. You can find the information at www.lincolnbgc.org. www.lincolnbgc.org. Full scholarships are available, so make sure you come out and check us out.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies this morning with afternoon cloud cover and a very slim chance of a pop-up shower. It will be a bit warm. We'll top out near 91, south winds at 10. Overnight mainly clear, low dropping down to around 64. We'll see a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Hot again, the high of 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back old school. We're out here at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney. Customer Appreciation Day, 59-cent wings all day. $5 pitchers of beer all day. Doors have been open to 10:30 all the way to 6 p.m. Eric Strickland is signing off. The captain is in flight. DP, Jay Foreman. Before we jump into it, DP has a option for people to come in and spread the word about their business.
Yeah, until 6 o'clock tonight. You can bring in, if you're the owner of a company or you have authorization to act for a company, you can come down, put your name in the box. We're going to give away one appearance on the ticket. You can pick the show. If you want to come on old school, you want to jump on the block, with Strick. And Strick and Austin, you want to do early break. But you got to come down, put your name in the box, and we'll draw it in the very last segment today. 5 o'clock today in the brick and mortar. So in your car, we'll jump to the Royals coverage. But the rest of the streams and Allo Channel 951 will stick with Old School and the programming. And again, we got a big one tonight. Like the new programming, WTF with Strick and Clester Johnson.
Are they doing that in Lincoln?
Yeah, they're going to do it from studio.
What time is that on?
So that's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Throwing it popping.
You know, look, man, must hear radio. Also, Bach's new show was it's Nuclear Heat.
I got you.
So Bach's gonna carry it from 7 to 8. WTF with Strick and Clester Johnson, and Harrison will either go from 6 to 7 or he will go from 9 to 10. So again, you got till 6 o'clock. Come put your name in the box. We've got an autographed football, an autographed basketball that we're going to give away as well. Come on through. Jay, what you got?
Hey, I wanted to ask you, DP, about the difference between evaluating an offensive drive, right? Let's just look at it. We'll just say we're in Minnesota, and obviously, Nebraska fans are going to be apprehensive about everything. As soon as there is a offsides or a holding, you're like, oh, here we go again. But that's not how you should evaluate this team. Every year, it's a new team, new coaching staff, and new players. And the reason why I say it could be the same players, but every year you have to build a team. And so, but I think one of the things that is unique is when you could really kind of educate the people that are watching the game. And in particular, I'm going to ask you about the difference of evaluating an offensive drive. And I'm a big proponent of first downs, right? And the reason why I say that is because you can. So if you're playing against a better team, say you're playing against even in Minnesota, and you get it in the difference between going 3 and out and almost getting a first down or a big play versus getting 2 or 3 first downs and being able to punt the ball and pinning them back, I think is more advantageous sometimes than getting 3 points in a drive, because ultimately, if you can keep the team behind the numbers and behind the sticks, it's just a matter of time before you start to score 3-7 points, and then that's how you can either build up a lead or come back and win a game. Talk about the difference from a coach's perspective / a play caller's perspective about what I just talked about, because I think a lot of people don't know the difference. They just know the end result.
So sometimes a field goal is the result of plays. Touchdown, you can get lucky and score in one play.
Right.
Like you can do several things wrong and somebody can break free and go house. So they're different equations. Sometimes you win games in the second quarter.
Right.
That if I can get a series of plays that are working effectively, keeping my defense off the field, allowing my defensive coordinator time to regroup and reorganize, allowing defenders chance to clean their head,
right.
Get refocused, to have conversations, and then to send some scramble into the opposing team.
Yeah.
And I can do that the most effectively. Here's what I figured out. One, I want to kick the ball at the end of the drive. So we're not giving it away, not putting it on turf, we're not throwing it away. We don't make throws we need to make. Sometimes the best thing I can do in a drive is to go back to huddle 2 plays.
Right.
Just go back to the huddle. Don't give the ball away.
Right. Right.
Right. And then throughout the course of training, I need to know what play, if I asked my players, what play is going to give me 5 yards? What play do we have that we've worked on so much with such efficiency that we're going to get 5 yards from it? Sometimes that's a slant route. Sometimes that's a hitch. Sometimes that's a dive. Sometimes I know running behind Prohaska and Nuri will get me 4 yards.
Right.
If we do nothing else on the play, nobody else on the play, if Nuri and Prohaska and a tight end is going to get me 4 yards,
right.
If I have that in my pocket and I do that for 2 plays, it's 3rd and 2. And I can fail at the next play at a 50% rate and still be productive.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing calls plays, I'm going to change the way the defenders attack the play. And then I'm going to change the rhythm and momentum of the most important people on the field, which are my big guys. Because my offensive line gets to eat. They get to be physical. I'm not asking them to dance around. I'm not asking them to patty cake, right?
Right.
I'm not asking a quarterback to hold the ball for 2.7 seconds. I'm asking football players to make the most simplest of plays at what they do. Running back, plant the foot, get vertical behind the 3 best blockers we have. Give me 5 yards. Fall forward.
Right.
Fall forward. I don't want you on your back at any play of the drive. Running backs, I never want you running out of bounds, and I never want you tackled on your back.
Right.
Your back should never touch the ground. Offensive lineman, change the line of scrimmage. On every play, change it. I need for you to step forward 2 steps and change the line of scrimmage. Jay, if I call 60% of my plays from the very base thinking, I'm going to be successful.
Right.
People get cute. The worst offensive coordinator in the game is the guy who goes, watch this.
But the thing is, when people say watch this, it never works. It always works.
Never.
It always works when it's not supposed to work.
You know, you hear the guy goes, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do here?
Yeah.
Hey guys, you know what I want to do here? Let me go on my back. And you go, okay. That's when headsets get slammed and you see somebody drop the headset and just walk down the sideline.
Yeah.
So success can be keeping my defense off the field and letting them regroup. It can be positive plays, because if you run the ball 3 times and you do base things well, like that's all we're asking people to do.
Right. So I want to ask you, talk about the difference of play calling. I guess in particular, we'll just go the offensive side of the ball.
Uh-huh.
Play calling on the road. And the reason why I asked you this is because I think it's significantly different, because, you know, the momentum is automatically most of the time going to be against you. The crowd noise, right? The snap count, you're going to kind of be playing it in a defensive, on your heels a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where you can get the advantage back to you, the coordinator, or your team, is the way you call plays. And I'm digging all the way deep into, okay, let's really have a plan of when we break the huddle, the rhythm. I think the best play callers, offense, defense, special teams don't really get in the rhythm, are the offensive and defensive coordinators that call in rhythm, right? That means they're in rhythm, the mind, the set, and the flow is right, because they're setting up plays, 2 or 3 plays, down the road. But I think when you're on the road, the rhythm, the timing of how you call plays sets the tones, and it really takes the pressure off the players. Because if you are in rhythm, and they don't even have to know, because you don't have to give them a sheet and say, this is our rhythm, right? Because then they're going to be waiting for that rhythm, versus when you call the plays, you can dictate the rhythm. Talk about that from a play caller standpoint.
There's a thing that, like, Barry Thompson and I, SIAD, and that's our offensive plan when we go on the road.
Mm.
And that is basically telling their opposing fans, sit yo down.
Right.
Because I want you to have to sit there and watch me dominate physically your boys.
Right.
I need you to just sit back on your hands and go, stop him, scream, somebody tackle him. I want short success, which turns to long success. Because the other way, and I could do this as well, if I know that you can't cover my receivers, it's still sit on down.
Right.
Because the pace and tempo is too fast for them.
Right.
If they are a quick tempo team, I want to slow them down.
Right.
If they're a slow tempo team, I need to quicken them up.
Right.
But if I'm elite at either of those, I'm just going to make you stop me. Like if I've got, this is what drove me crazy a year ago. If I've got Trey Palmer, I'm going to make people uncomfortable by getting him the ball as often and as early as possible.
Yeah.
If I've got a runner, if I've got Anthony Grant giving you 108 yards a game, well, if I'm in Columbus or Ann Arbor or wherever, sit your butts down and watch us just grind. And nothing moves a team better than the offensive line getting their giddy up on.
Right.
Right? You remember the pipeline, just running through people. And the defense is looking over at the sideline like, what y'all, like, hey, call something, send somebody in, do something. Jay, you know the running back or the quarterback who you're getting pressure on with base stuff, and he's looking at the sideline like, give me something.
Right.
Be basic in what you do, whatever your base thing is. If I've got grinders, I'm going to grind.
Right.
If I've got thoroughbreds, I'm going to use the thoroughbreds. But either way, I need for those fans to just sit on their hands, quiet.
Yeah, and that's first down. That's obviously rhythm. But really, the play callers, and it's kind of the chicken and the egg thing, right? The play callers can have that show up at whatever stadium, have that in his mind, but then the players got to execute. And we had Anthony Grant, and he was able to make a lot of people miss in short spaces, right? And he sometimes covered up a lot of eyesores on some of the blocking schemes. So now we also need to work to where Anthony Grant is working from an advantageous standpoint, right? To where he's getting to the second and third level. Then we can say, you know what, Anthony Grant, you need to make that linebacker miss.
Mm-hmm.
They got you to the second level. You need to make him miss versus making a defensive lineman miss, making a defensive end miss, and then shake a line or break a tackle of a safety, and that's the greatest 8-yard run, and he ran 30 yards.
Asking running backs, who do you want to be one-on-one against?
Right.
Who do you want to run behind? Like if I'm in the Nebraska huddle, listen, I'm watching film because you watch Waterboy. He says, well, who's my little lamb? Who am I picking on? So I know before game, I know who that lamb is. And then if we're eating, I'm just going to feed.
Yeah.
Like let the big boys eat. And if Prohaska has an advantage, then I need to run behind Prohaska. And guess what? That'll be the best thing for the team because the better Prohaska plays. I always say this. I've got to win the middle of the field first.
Yeah.
So Scott has to win. And if he wins, it allows me to go one-on-one with Nori. If he wins, I now get to go one-on-one with Prohaska.
Yeah.
And if they're all winning, I'm just loading a tight end and an H-back in front of Grant. And we're just destroying people. But I have to win with Scott first.
Yeah.
If I'm not winning with Scott, I got to bring Nori down to help him. And that takes away from everybody else.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you talk about winning, and this will be before we go to break, is like really I look at it differently. Nebraska's just got to stop losing.
Amen.
No, what I mean by
what
I mean by that is losing plays. That means when you have 4 linemen at least breaking 50-50, because you're not going to just line up and just bowl people over, right? So if you have 4 guys that are on their guys and know their assignment, whether it's a stalemate, an advantageous, position for Nebraska, or maybe even for them, we can't have the whiffs anymore.
Right.
We eliminate those. The offense and the thought of the offensive line, of the offense in general, totally changes. So I wanted to dive into DP's head.
No, that's to close it with that. It's winning is one side. That's dominant. That's Hog's pipeline. Being neutral. Like as a running back, I would tell my lineman, look, I don't need you for you to win.
Right.
Just get in his way.
Yeah.
I'm better than the linebacker or safety that's coming.
And that's
just get in their way.
And
just don't lose.
And that's the step. It's along the lines of the expectations of the season. You can't go to 14-15-0 at Georgia before you can kind of get past Iowa and all them as far as winning 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. And that's how you do it. So good segment. We're going to come back. I want to get DP's quick thoughts on Live Golf and PGA Tour. Jay Monahan. Jay Monahan just written himself an unemployment resume very quickly. So I want to get your thoughts on that. We'll dive into it maybe in the 5 o'clock hour. This is Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hey Lincoln, this is Ramel Lloyd. I'm from the Boys and Girls Club. I've got some exciting news I want to share today for our youth. We're having a junior NBA camp coming up, June 12th through June 30th. The times are 11 a.m. to 4:15. We're going to have some exciting games, some great speakers, great guests. It's going to be a great time. So we want to see you out there. You can find the information at www.lincolnbgc.org. www.lincolnbgc.org. Full scholarships are available, so make sure you come out and check us out.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies this morning with afternoon cloud cover and a very slim chance of a pop-up shower. It will be a bit warm. We'll top out near 91, south winds at 10. Overnight mainly clear, low dropping down to around 64. We'll see a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Hot again, the high of 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's summertime at the Lincoln YMCA. With 3 outdoor pools, swim lessons, camps, youth sports, and child watch, there's never a dull moment for the kids. Take your wellness goals to new heights with the Y's vast array of cardio and strength training options, free group exercise classes, and the dedicated help of their specialists that will work with you to implement a plan customized to meet your needs. With 4 convenient locations, there's a YMCA near you. Let's make this the best summer yet. Visit ymcalincoln.org to join today. The YMCA, for a better us.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
You mentioned the Auburn Regional between Penn and Southern Miss. How many fans? Plainsman Park seats 4,096.
I get 1,200.
1,200. I'm going to take the over slightly.
I don't know how well either one of these fan bases travel.
You can't imagine that Penn travels all that well.
I don't. And there's parents.
There's not 1,200 of them.
No, there's
not
there's
1,200
not.
parents.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thank you. Old school brought back DP and J from Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney. Customer Appreciation Day, 59-cent wings, $5 pitchers all day. You know what, DP, I'm going to tell you, man, they don't make brothers like they used to, man. Like Strick.
He took him around.
You know, look, man, Strick, I said, look, Strick battled to stand an 8 count, succumb to the heat not once but twice, probably 3 times yesterday. Okay, we were there. We encouraged him. We got him to the finish line. Brother guy here ordered me some lemon pepper wings. Wonder where they are. Strickland got them, ate them, right? Like a little raccoon in your garbage, and bounced to the 40-ounce. You know, Johnny from the East Side is calling his show tonight, giving him the business.
Yeah,
They just don't make brothers like they used to.
Yeah,
But,
like at least he knew what he ordered.
yeah, and
he'd been playing it for 2 hours.
Yeah, and then he dapped up and left though. That was
Yeah,
that
he
was
gave you the
pretty-
deuces
yeah,
from a
pretty
distance.
smooth. Yeah,
So you wouldn't smell the sauce.
Yeah, he's like, good job ordering, Jay. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, speaking of that, they don't make people like they used to. Old Jay Monahan of the PGA Tour, I imagine his sphincter muscle is puckered up real tight because I think they're having their meeting today where he's got to talk in front of the players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's not just going to be one meeting. It's one meeting that's going to go, is going to get adjourned, and then his text messages have been blown up tenfold. If you haven't heard, I'm sure that, it's been on every show and it's been on their national news, and it's been even on like CNN, where the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, which is the European Tour, and LIV have come to some sort of agreement that they all will merge next year after this 2023 season. But the big deal is, I think it just comes down to money. I think everybody was losing a little bit more money than the PGA Tour probably wasn't able to continue to raise the purses to be somewhat substantial to what LIV was doing. LIV wasn't getting the legitimate backing from, getting on TV, sponsorships, etc. So then, the people that are actually looking at the dollars and cents came together. I'm assuming Greg Norman is gone because that was a sticking point. But I'm going to focus on Jay Monahan. My man was on CNBC less than 48 hours ago. Okay. 48 hours ago. So that tells me this. These type of deals don't just get struck in 48 hours because these are gazillion dollar deals. Mm-hmm. He knew that and got on TV. So that means he has just lied to not only everybody on the PGA Tour for however many years, and potential players, college players that earn their way onto the PGA Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour players, because it's a trickle-down effect, the Canadian Tour as well, all the subsidiaries of the PGA Tour, he has bold-faced lied to them. Let's do a over-under, okay? I'll go over-under on 6 months that he's still employed by the PGA Tour.
3
months?
3 months.
So you're saying by 2000, once it gets going, you will have a new PGA Tour commissioner?
Yeah, because you're going to have to face the people that you deceived.
Right.
You're going to have to face the people that you were incorrect to, because there's a difference between not knowing this was going to happen and not thinking this was going to happen.
And going against your word.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like he could say, I said this because I really was told that this wouldn't happen, which means you're not in control of. Like, you can't be in control of billions of dollars and not be in control. You have to know what you're talking about. The power brokers on the other side, the money itself showed we're in charge.
Right.
We're in charge. And the players now know I can't trust this guy.
Right.
I can't trust you. One, either to do the job required, or two, to know what's actually going on.
Yeah, and I'd like to think that, and we'll talk about this more in the first segment. I'd like to think when you make the ruling that if you join the LIV Tour, you can't be on the PGA Tour, and when you increase the purses, change the structure of different tournaments, right? No cuts and all that stuff. You have talked to the power brokers on the PGA Tour. You knew how much money that the purses would be and could be based on talking to said network X, Y, and Z, and to the players. Because I'd look at it like this, DP. If Jay Foreman was approached by LIV and they say, hey, look, we'll give you $125 million. Jay Monahan said, look, I can't do $125 million, but you're a PGA Tour member. This is the fabric of the game. This and this. This is where you can win majors. This is all that, Ryder Cup and all that. And I choose to stay in. You get a little bit of money in your pocket because that does happen. And then less than a year later, you're merging with them. I'm never getting that opportunity to get that back, right? That's a one-time offer. But you got to go. Jay Monahan, you have got to go.
It is go back to the ABA-NBA merger.
Yep.
Go back to the AFL-NFL merger.
Right. It's happened before.
Right.
It's happened before.
It's happened, and he didn't read the playbook.
Right. You know what his best bet would be? Look at how the USFL kind of hurt themselves trying to overtake the NFL. AFL, NFL, ABA, NBA, and knew that the people that lied to to those players, even when Julius Erving,
the Pacers, the Nuggets, everybody thought
it hurt their legacy, right?
Yeah.
And Julius Erving obviously ended up being great, but all that stuff.
He never got repaid for his years with New Jersey Nets.
Exactly. And
George McGinnis never got repaid.
Right. And if he didn't realize that was potential, then shame on him. And just for that alone, you need to be fired.
They're learning.
We're going to go to break here, come back at the top of the hour. We'll talk a little bit more about Liv in the second hour. I want to ask you a little bit. Look, we're on the eve of the Nuggets Heat in Miami. Has your opinion changed? What do you think the Nuggets do to kind of curtail this let Joker score a bunch? Let's focus on Jamal Murray. Will that be able to last for 3 more victories? It's the race to 3 now, right? So I want to ask your opinion on that. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues.
Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. We are live out here at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 40th and Old Cheney. It's Customer Appreciation Day, 59-cent wings all day. I just hit me off about 5 or 6 and Strick ate all mine. $5 pitchers of beer all day. Doors are open to 6. They've been open since 10:30. We are out here, plenty of going on. Plenty of TVs out here to see what's going on. Good vibes, good people. It's all good in the hood. But I want to ask you, DP, I just saw where Tyler Hero is officially ruled out for Game 3. And obviously this is on the cusp of the Miami Heat going to Denver and beating them. I think this is the first time that they lost at home. Has it changed? I think it changed the magnitude of the finals, right? Kind of woke everybody up. The Miami Heat are for real. But has it changed your assessment of the Heat, who could win, how it could go, or was it Miami Heat overexerted himself and lucked up and got a win? How do you foresee it going moving forward? Because the Heat are at home right now and back in regular elevation. What do you expect moving forward, especially the next 2 games?
Well, I'll quote our buddy Diddy Green. They are who we thought they were.
The Heat or the Denver?
In every aspect, that both teams are exactly who we thought they were. These are the 2 best teams in the NBA. They're playing the best basketball right now. The Nuggets, before their loss the other night, was playing at a level that nobody else was playing at. The Heat, in order to get to the finals and figure out how to beat the Celtics, and then playing in Game 1. And as you said earlier, sometimes you win the game in another way.
Yeah.
They won Game 2 the night before.
Yeah, the game before.
The night before is that night where you get to reset your body.
Right.
Your body gets acclimated to the elevation. Your body also acknowledges the time difference because being from Miami and then going to Denver and having to deal with that.
Yep.
So you get altitude and time management, and then the responsibility of being in the NBA Finals, right? First time of having to deal with tickets and fans and social media and diet on the road in Denver because you only go to Denver once a year, so you don't know who's catering the meal. We've heard the Jordan stories of getting bad pizza and dealing with that sort of stuff. Do you trust the hotels? Do you bring your own caterers? All those things have to be learned in the first night. And then the second night, Pat Riley figured out overnight. Eric Spoelstra figured out overnight. We must do something different. You can't copy failure. You have to change. So they made subtle adjustments, and the most difficult thing to defend is when you don't know where people are going to be.
Right.
So from an offensive side, for the Nuggets to attack, if they know where the Heat going to be and how they're going to defend each set, then they know how to attack it. Next possession, next read, next rotation. The Heat did an exceptional thing. One trip down, they apexed Joker and the shooters on the wing. The next time down, they went straight double on Joker and made him get rid of the ball and made the shooter have to make the play.
Right.
Next trip down, they chased the shooter off the 3 spot that they were comfortable in shooting and made him shoot from a different spot.
Right.
The next time down, they went zone. Their ability to change and to be fully trained in and accepting the coaching, that sort of game management requires pros.
Right.
It requires 5 defenders at all times who are willing to communicate and be aware of what their teammates are doing. Because remember, if you're player number 9 and you come off the bench, you better know where you are in the rotation.
Yep.
You better know what are we doing now? And if you're sitting on the bench joking with your boy, instead of paying attention, you're going to get on the floor. Highsmith figured that out, that, oh, my goodness, I can't go in the game not being aware of where I am. They're not asking me to do what they asked me to do in game 1. It's a whole new game. I expect the same thing in game 3. You copy success, not failure. I expect the Heat to do more of the same.
Well, I think the Heat are going to see if they adjusted, right? Well, and they're going to see if Jamal Murray comes out and tries to be the lead dog, like kind of in game 1, right? Where the Joker was heavy in the assists and not very very active on the offense side, and then kind of was the second, and then he was the closer. On the flip side with Denver, I just saw where Coach Malone challenges players about effort. So what he's expecting them to come out and match their physicality, getting to loose balls, and will the Heat continue to be at a level of physicality and effort that they were in game 2? Can they replicate it in game 3?
Was it effort or energy? In your mind,
well,
was
I'm
it
going
effort?
off what he said. I think it was. I think it was a little bit of Denver having a double-digit lead. Kind of, sometimes you can be up by 10 or 11 points in football and not understanding that you still have 3 quarters. And this team can really get it going. And Miami Heat shot so bad the first game. You kind of came in and say it maybe forecasted, okay, maybe if they shoot a little bit better, we'll still beat them. Well, Miami Heat stayed true to what they were doing, got some stops, got hot.
And they got free throws.
Yep, and Duncan Robinson had those 12 points. And at that point in time where he had those 12 points, he had more points than Denver in total. That's how you're able to – that's how you lose a lead, not only lose a lead, but then you're now losing the game. And then it takes you, a kind of a hellacious run to get back in the game, which is it's like fool's gold, right? Whereas you look at game 1 for Miami, and who knows what's going to happen in game 3, to where even though Denver, looked really good on offense. Now, they'll tell you they didn't really play up to their standard offense. That's a little bit of Miami, but they looked really good on offense, but they never blew out the game, right? Miami
let them stay in it.
Shot horrible, no free throws, but what did it do? Got stops. It had almost 100 shots, right? So what the Miami did is said, look, it really wasn't that bad. We're actually doing some good things, but we're going to do better at what we did before, but this is what we're going to add to it. It's going to be, I think, the chess match between Malone versus Spoelstra / Riley, Alonzo Mourning, is going to be a huge factor. I didn't think it would be this much of a factor. I think it's going to be a huge factor because those 3, as far as with the Miami Heat, and just take Spoelstra and Riley, are going to try to coach themselves to a NBA championship. Whereas
Mourning, I like that you added Alonzo Mourning to it.
And whereas Denver thinks that we got 2 top 20 players, superstars, and then 2 other subsidiary superstars that we can overwhelm you not only with our pace, but then also our athletic ability and our players. It didn't ring true last game. How do you adjust? Now as long of a flight it was from Boston to Denver. It's a longer flight from Denver to Miami, knowing that you just got beat at home, so you got a chink in the armor, and knowing that the Miami Heat are going to bring it's probably going to be a whiteout, right? You're going to have DJ Khaled, Floyd Mayweather, everybody's going to be at the game. Now you go on the road with a little bit of doubt. It's different, DP. You know this.
And South Beach.
Well, that too. But I think Denver's a team that's been locked in all year, right? So, but here's why. Getting on that plane, regardless of how you got the 2-0, is different than getting on the plane 1-1 and you just lost.
Losing at home.
Right. It's also different getting on that plane 1-1 and you won the last game versus say they lost the first game and say Miami played way out of their league and they hit a whole bunch of threes.
They shot 40,
right?
They did everything.
Right. That's a difference. They're getting on that game, getting on that plane. They're a confident team, right? They've been the best and most consistent team all year. But look, anything can happen in the NBA Finals. And also their go-to, which was their everybody like Nolan Ryan, he has that fastball, right? That fastball got hit, that home run. Mario Rivera, right? Enter Sandman comes in, right? Somebody from Arizona Diamondbacks hits a home run on you. You lose a little bit of luster like that. Then you go on a road. The doubt creeps in. Then you have a coach question your effort when actually the players are probably like, look, we just got beat. We actually were playing hard.
I was surprised by the take, right? That effort.
No.
I was surprised.
They got beat. First of all, they got beat and they got out coached.
That part, I would have more faith.
They more got out coached than beat.
I would have more faith in Denver if Malone had simply said, "My bad. I've got to do better in getting us prepared to handle this stuff. I will make sure that we're ready for Miami Game 3." He then instead turned on his players. He threw his players under the bus.
Yeah.
And that, to me,
we'll see how they respond.
That's a new look. All of this is as poised as they've been, Jay. NBA Finals is different.
It does. Look. What the Golden State Warriors have won 73 games?
Yep.
Okay, 73 games and then won an NBA championship. Who beat them?
There they are, sitting there looking around.
LeBron and the Cavaliers, who were fourth in the East, right? And so forth and so on. So, what I think is, I'm gonna go back to game 1. I was more surprised that Miami didn't play matchup zone and zone more in that first game to kind of curtail a run, whereas they played man. Obviously, they played 2-3 zone, and then they played a little bit of a box and one and matchup zone.
Let me ask
at
you
different parts of the game.
Right. Let me ask you this.
In game 2.
You as a coach, and you've been in enough basketball coaching situations to answer the question. Would you rather a team go on a run with 2s or 3s?
Well, me on offense or me or defense?
You're the head coach, and you're the defensive team.
It's hard to say hitting 3s. I'd rather, because I think eventually it's going to stop. I feel like when a team is just fast breaking you to death, picking and rolling you to death, dribble driving, back cutting you, finishing at the rim, put back dunks, 3 and 1s, they're just destroying the fabric of what you say that you are as a basketball team.
Like if somebody hits a mid-range jumper, they're not going to fist pump.
Right.
The crowd's not going to get hyped.
Right.
They're going to do that. If they hit the 3, everybody's giving the signals, the crowd's pumped a little bit, then they do it again, and it elevates.
Right.
I was a little surprised. The zone allows you to at least match up on the 3.
Right.
The rotation of it was important.
Right.
When you do it.
Right.
Go zone to stop a run. You know what? I got 2 wing shooters that's hot. You know what? I need to get there. I need to close out.
Make them shoot 3.
Make
them shoot
or get
2s.
them off the line.
Yeah, run them off the line.
Yeah.
I think that, Denver lost their way a little bit. I think some of the things that were so good of Michael Porter Jr. throughout the year really, but some of the things that frustrated people in Denver for the last, few years showed their ugly head in game 3. I think Jamal Murray obviously got hot towards the end, hit a couple 3s, but for pretty much for three quarters and 3/4 of the last quarter, he was D'd up and non-existent, right? I think Gordon did okay, but I think sometimes Gordon can get you 20, but you don't want it to be an overexertion 20, right?
He could cost you.
Here's what I mean. You want his 20 transition 3s, lobs. That's where you want his 10 to 16 points. When you try to get it out on the wing for him and he can't drive, where he's got a pull up jumper, step back jump. That's not his game right now. And really, to be honest with you, it was his game in Orlando, but that's not been his role since he's been in Denver. So I think one of the things that Michael Malone has to get back to, he has to really respect Spoelstra and them in their zone, in the matchup zone. He has to respect all the players that aren't the high-profile ones. And then he also has to really take a deep dive in to his offensive system, finding a way to get to it by going a roundabout way, right? If Miami wants to throw the matchup zone up to him, okay, well, we got Joker in the middle. He's 7'1". We got Porter Jr. that's 6'10", and we got Gordon that's either 6'9" or 6'8".
We're not sure.
well, he's a big dude, right? Throw a 2-3 zone at them as well, right? Don't just sit back and let Miami dictate and be able to run every single, defense that Pat Riley can think of, from Jim Boeheim to the Hoya Paranoia for John Thompson to the amoeba defense or whatever they want to do.
Right.
Well, let's give you a little bit of taste of your own medicine, because at the end of the day, it's giving just as much as Denver's thinking about it right now, and we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give the Miami Heat and that coaching staff, whether it's a timeout or halftime, right, or in between a TV timeout, they got to adjust. They got to think about it.
And it shortens the run.
It's too easy right now for Miami to try to find different ways to dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas Denver is like, okay, we're going to run you out of the gym, and you could be fooled by a facade that you did it in the first game, but what you really didn't. Because when you think about it, when a team, DP, let me ask you this, when a team has 93 shots, right? 93 shots in an NBA Finals game.
That's crazy.
What team would you think, if I just said on a piece of paper,
93 versus 79.
Who's the
93
runner? Who's the team that played with a higher pace?
Yeah, 93 rolled.
Right. But they just couldn't hit a broadside of a barn.
And they didn't get a call.
Didn't get a call.
They didn't get a call. Here's the other thing that showed up, and this is when I circled that the game Denver can't come back. 3 consecutive possessions defensively, Joker got called for fouls, and after each of them, he spent the larger portion of the next possession
arguing the foul. Right.
And I said, that's the immaturity.
Right.
That's the difference. That's Butler has a plan.
Right.
Miami has a plan.
Right.
I'm not sure when friction happens for Denver.
How they were
at. Right.
In one of the fouls, Joker might have had a gripe.
All of them were legit.
But the one that, he came down and just slapped Bam upside the head.
Right.
And that's the only one you didn't argue. I'm going to argue that one, say it's an accident.
Just keep playing.
Right.
Keep playing.
Or the ref calls the ball, off you, and it might have been on you and all that. You can't, I think sometimes Denver has been so successful at home that they're so used to getting every call that it's like, the world is ending if you don't get a call. And for me, it's not comparable coaching AAU basketball, club basketball, but sometimes when you see and you play against teams that have ran over teams, and then they play against teams that are actually going to meet you with force, that are well coached, that aren't going to back down, you see that sometimes. You see it a lot where they're used to getting all the calls. They're used to rolling out there, going on a run, and teams just fold up. Well, a team will run right back at you and not fold. You'll see these teams, they think there's an obligatory whistle that's always in your favor. Denver has to get back to what has made them the most consistent team all year, and they're going to, if they want it, they'll win it. But if they sit back and don't go take it, Miami is poised to take it.
They got all the calls in game 1.
Right.
So you're taught that the officials are going to call. Once you learn how they're going to call it, you play that way.
Right.
Well, Joker was playing the way they called game 1.
Right.
And they weren't giving it to him, and it wasn't working. He was like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now I got to go outside myself. I got to get 40.
Yeah.
Whoa, you've gone against what worked, and now you create another situation.
Right. And you're not playing against Anthony Davis. Because here's why. Joker could get that 30, 16 and whatever against the Lakers. Anthony Davis is only going to give you 10 and whatever. Well, Bam said, okay, you're going to get yours. But on this defensive end, when you're on defense, you're going to work some because I'm taking you off the rim and I'm running the court, so I'm not getting tired, and I'm making everybody else try to defend me.
They emptied his tank on the defensive end.
Gordon, you want to come over and try to stop me to dunk? Take that with you.
Yeah,
they
got empty.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I still think Denver will, eventually pull it out. But I'm a little shocked at the way that they played when they were up, because I like to see teams when you're up by 8-9 points put the dagger in the heart. It looked like they relaxed. They started to get too happy with the threes. They started to expect calls. They started to look at the scoreboard, and what I mean by that is, okay, we're up by say me and you're on a team and we're up by 16. You come down, one pass, shoot a 3.
I can take that shot because we have
okay. Well,
16.
then they come back and hit a 3. Oh, we're still up by 12. Well, the next thing you know, after 4 minutes, you only up by 2. Then they get an and 1. Next thing you know, we're losing the game.
You just described that second quarter,
right? And then now me and you are looking at each other. Well, what happened? Now we're in a dogfight, and we hadn't really played basketball to our capabilities for the last 20 minutes. And so,
well, it's the Jay Foreman coaching thing. What do you do when you have success? That tells you
right
what the result's going to be.
Yeah.
Are you loyal to what you did to get that success?
Right.
Or do you get fancy and do you get cute?
Yeah.
And hurt yourself?
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes and how the things adjust. I think it's a weird day. Today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
The Chiefs just went to the White House.
Yeah.
We had the stuff with Liv.
Yeah.
We got the Nebraska satellite camp, and there's a huge mega camps all across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Major League Baseball is heating up,
mm-hmm.
and we got the College World Series right on the cusp. There's a lot going on a Tuesday.
The College Softball World
College Softball World Series, and you got the championship game.
Uh-huh.
Florida State against Oklahoma,
Yeah.
5-4. Oklahoma has been a juggernaut.
Yeah.
But Florida State is not going to back down.
51 straight wins.
Right, but you don't want to be stuck at 51.
Not now.
Not now.
Not
we
now.
can lose next year.
Not
Matter of
now,
fact,
yeah, right.
Matter of fact, I want to win 2 more games,
Right.
and we lose
Right.
next year, the first game.
Opening game.
Just have it.
Yeah.
This is forfeit.
get out
We'll
of the
take
way.
the L. You
Yeah.
do not want to go all the way to this cusp.
Can I ask
And
you
lose.
which one are you currently enjoying more? Softball or baseball?
I really, to be honest with you, when my daughter played softball, and then we went to Nebraska, and John Squire used to call, calls in. He's a great contributor.
Yeah.
I went to a softball. I really like watching softball.
Yeah.
It's action packed. It's exciting. They play the right way. I like it. Right. So right now, I'd say softball just number one because Oklahoma is on a tear. But then I think Florida State was close last year. Can they get over the hump? They lost at Oklahoma 5-4. Can they do the unthinkable?
Tennessee thought they were close. Tennessee thought this was their time.
They thought it, but they
Ooh.
didn't. They thought it, but they didn't think it. There's a difference. Because the thought. See, here's the thing about thinking or having a thought versus thinking it.
Yeah.
A thought is it sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's great when we sit back and say all this stuff. When you really think it, that means you believe it. Does
Well-
Florida State believe?
Well, that plane ride home last night was something terrible.
Yeah, man. And the only thing that made it worse is there's some turbulence.
Oh my goodness.
DP, we talked to you. I heard you talk about drop the T's. And we're in the next segment. We're going to talk about a couple things that I potentially have going on, so forth. But when I
had it written down on paper.
when
I
we did our first
teed up for you.
First
Yeah.
podcast of Inside the Huddle. We'll cover replay of the game, college football, interviews, so forth and so on. I talked about the biggest thing that the staff and players need to do, right? Because not every day you're not going to have your best stuff, but the intention, you have to be intent on being great. That's how you're able to get through these dog days right here, right?
Yep.
92 degrees, 90 something humidity, and do it day after day after day. Because my intent is to do the right thing.
Let's get it.
And that's how you overcome obstacles. That's how you don't have that bumpy ride home.
I'm going to say this, and Austin, if you'll chime in here, and I need to let this know. So I got the text that we will have another Husker Hall of Famer here at Buffalo Wings and Rings. So what I think when we go to break and come back, we should go short so that the long segment gets the Hall of Fame. We need to hear more from 2 Hall of Famers than DP in a Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So
we
we'll
can
go
do that.
short. We'll go to break. We'll go short, and then we'll come back with
All
a Hall
good
of
to
Fame.
hood, man. This is old school going to break. We're going to be right back. Jay Foreman, DP from Wings and Rings. We'll be right back.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's effort. It's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, if you were tuned in on the stream by Allo, channel 951, soon will be channel 951, 937. It's myself, Jay Foreman. AG, Amon Green is here. I always love when I see Amon. I got to see him yesterday. Got to spend a lot of time with him yesterday out there in the elements. Me and Amon we played college together. Never had the fortunate, opportunity to play together in the pros. So we never got the chance to go through training camp together.
No.
Yesterday was training camp. It was hot. It was all get out. Yeah. Slow golf.
Beautiful.
But, I would tell you this. It was one of the most enjoyable and fun rounds of golf that I've done or had in a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was me, you, Jake, Strick, and we had a ball out there for 6 hours. Now, we would like to have been done in 4 hours and 30 minutes, but the team before us had other plans. And so we all hit some good shots. We hit some bad shots and some so-so shots. But I wanted to ask you, AG, we talked in between.
Yeah.
I want to know what your initial, and you have some experience of this being in the gaming world, what we talked about, what your initial I guess, thought was on the PGA Tour and Live doing I just call it about face, right?
Right.
They were like in high school. We hate each other, right? It's like a guy and a girl. We hate each other.
Yep.
Then now they're going to prom together.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like,
in a matter of 2 days. So talk about your initial thoughts when you heard it this morning, because it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did. You know, when I first saw it, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I thought they were rivals or something like that. But they must have obviously had conversations. Obviously, looking at that, we were talking before we went live, talking about money.
Yeah.
So but Liv probably saw that money situation.
Yeah, money will bring you to the table.
They were like, wait a minute. Let's look at the bottom line here. Oh wow. PGA, hey, can we talk?
Right.
Let's look. Can we be friends now?
Yeah.
So
you don't look so bad. You look. You know what? When you were wearing that outfit the other day, you look kind of handsome.
Right. So managing that was probably what hit them, and that's just my theory. It's not that I'm just putting out there. This is what I believe, what I saw, and what I'm hearing, and what I know about sports, money, and trying to have something where you have a league where you're trying to get the best players, and those best players, they can demand and leverage more money because they
talk about that in your world of esports, about what you. I didn't even know it.
Yeah,
and I know some of the characters because my kids, they're not gamers, but they love it, and so they watch the YouTube. Talk about that because it is. I always say portable. It is portable. It's kind of apples to apples. It's the same thing. Talk about your experience with that, or looking at it from an esports standpoint.
I mean, from an esports standpoint, I was just talking. I can't think of the platform, but it was a platform similar to Twitch,
right?
And they started up. I created my own little channel on there too. I streamed on it like once or twice, and it was actually owned by Microsoft.
Right.
It was Microsoft platform. Like Twitch is part of Amazon, so that's where
they
got unlimited.
Yeah,
they got unlimited funds. But Microsoft, they kind of do have unlimited, but when they came out of the stable, they paid Ninja $20 million 5 years. They paid this one player named Shroud, who was just as good as Ninja, $15 million for 4 years, and another kid for $10 million.
Right.
So you're talking about almost $60 million right there among 3 influencers when you got a platform that has hundreds of thousands of influencers, and you got to pay them through their time streaming.
Sure.
And now you're saying these are the guys, these are my headliners though.
Right.
And then there's no money coming in,
right?
Because of the platform, the way it works. The analytics of how many viewers
sponsorships,
you get viewers, concurrent viewers, where you got to pay, any streamer,
right?
A 70-30 split, a 60-40 split, and so that right there wasn't a recipe to win, and then that whole platform shut down,
right?
Within a 3.5 year period. So in the video game space, we're just trying to. We just similar had something close to this because last week, the League of Legends League, the Pro League, International League, just tried to shut down the North American Minor League.
Right.
And all the players were like, oh, no, you're not doing that. So they staged it. That's the first walkout I've heard of in the esports space. So seeing this with Liv and PGA, where they found out they got to have a common ground.
Right.
Knowing to pay these players to have the entertainment for us as fans to watch.
Right.
They got to, figure out something and work together. If not, they all both going to go down.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably PGA will stay up a lot longer because they've been around longer.
Right.
Liv just started. So that's where, just like in our space, in the esports space, everybody got to find a common ground.
Right.
Like I believe sooner or later, we're going to have a CBA for the pro level of games that's going on.
Sure.
In the
yeah.
Because if you don't get that CBA,
you stuck like Chuck.
Nobody's getting paid nothing. And that's where in the League of Legends League, the LCSPA, Players Association, is working on that. Some of their stipulations is paying players $300,000 a year.
Right.
Through the sharing of all the advertisement funds.
Right.
Money's just like in the NFL.
Right.
Just like in the NBA, like Major League Baseball. So once you have that, then you can have the coaching development, player development. You can have other
minor leagues and stuff.
Yeah, you got the minor leagues, which they try to cut out.
Right.
Like so what they said was the North American scene is not really good in League of Legends, which is not.
Right.
But you can't just cut it out,
right?
And just expunge probably 5,000 players across from East Coast to West Coast,
right?
Just because we're not the good country in this game,
right?
So and all the countries stepped up. Europe, all the Europe countries, all the Asian countries, Australia, they stepped up and said, no, you're not cutting them guys out,
right?
Because they have a passion to get pro one day,
right?
And make money and have fun in their game. They're passionate about and want to be good at. So you can't just because they're not good because they're not bringing in the viewership,
right?
Or the monies because they're not good teams, that don't mean nothing,
right?
It's all the same. So it was good to see that the European teams, or say the international teams, stepped up to support North America
Right.
to keep that minor league going, because the minor league, regardless of how good or you're not good, it still feeds the pro teams.
Right, and that's
know?
that's your breeding grounds of potentially another superstar. You just
Exactly.
never know when it'll come. And the thing with Liv that's interesting is, look, both of them. First of all, everybody can say we won, right?
Right.
They both won, right? Because it came down to money. It did.
Yeah.
Whereas, in my opinion, I felt like the PGA Tour probably felt and looked at it from some sponsors. Hey, man, you guys, we're paying you an extra now, and then now you want more to try to keep up with Liv. And then I think Liv, even though they had, I guess, quote unquote, unlimited funds, but when you're not getting any return back from investment or from marketing, sponsorships, and then getting on the big screen, at the end of the day, you're not just going to keep feeding in money. You're not trying to grow the game. And so I think they said, hey, look, how can we get to some common ground? I imagine Greg Norman is probably put off to the side, because I think that was the big sticking point.
Yeah.
When you saw Tiger Woods say when they first met up almost like a year ago up there in that tournament in Connecticut, he said, nothing's going to get done till Greg Norman's gone. So when Tiger Woods speaks, it's like E.F. Hutton when he's right.
Well,
So and that was a common theme. Jack Nicklaus and all that stuff. What the thing is, what really, I wouldn't say concerns me, because it's their business, is Jay Monahan, where he's at in leadership. Whereas we know from our experience with the NFLPA dealing with the commissioner, but some of our NFLPA owner or representative weren't representing.
No, they weren't. Oh yeah, we know who that was.
Right, right, and they were representing against us. Where
they were getting their pockets lined.
Right. So then, so again, now if I'm a PGA player, Jay Monahan is up in front of me, you got to go.
Yeah.
Like now, this ain't a wait till you get. This is not. I can't trust you anymore.
Nope.
Because AG, let me ask you this from an esports standpoint. Say a new platform is starting, right? And the platform that you're on said, hey, look, all you guys, you were from the beginning. This is the way we're doing things. I want you to stay. We'll up the up the pay a little bit, but this is what it was built on, right? And I say, hey, AG, if you just come over, I'm going to give you 4 times of what you're getting, and you right?
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
But you say no, but again, you're trusting the leadership.
Yeah,
that in 4 years we're still going to be together, and then a year later you can't recoup that money.
Right.
And so that's where I think is going to be. What you hear from the players is going to tell you a lot.
It's huge. Yeah.
Because the players that stayed on the PGA Tour, even though there's only 48 spots, you got to think, if you're Tiger Woods, they offered him like 900-something million, 750 million. Now, what Tiger doesn't need to take it, but 700. Everybody needs 750 million.
Hell yeah.
So, and it was on the assumption that Jay Monahan wasn't going to do about face. And the thing is, I would say this, and I want to know what your thoughts of. We got about 5 minutes left. Those decisions aren't 48-hour decisions.
No.
Those decisions are 6 months decisions.
Yeah, them are
Like,
long. You got
those are multiple conversations
with different people.
Right.
Different levels of employment.
Right.
Pay scales or what have you. You're conversating about, because you got to look at the long game.
Right.
That's a long game conversation.
Right. And I want to know about the meetings. Now, you ain't just meeting on Zoom.
No.
We going to dinner and we breaking bread.
Right.
We going off to Augusta or Pine Valley. We're going to play golf and we're going to be out there for 6 hours.
Yep.
Right. And then have some food and stuff after that.
Get this thing done now.
So we're talking, we're in a cart together.
Yep.
There is no, hey, I got another meeting. No, our meeting is here and we're in the middle of nowhere. How it came about is, you know what I think, AG?
What's up?
2 things I was thinking yesterday. We needed to be streaming yesterday because we was having a good old time, right? Because Strick with that standing 8 count, was magnificent because he stepped up. But you know what I think is going to come down the pipe? A 30 for 30 or a Netflix show of how it came about, because this is
that. They've been popping them out pretty fast. So
this is huge though. You got to think. The PGA Tour was talking about Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Jones, the Godfather.
Right.
It's like
the
at the
guys
end
are settled,
right. And then just said, "Oh, bump them dudes. We need this money." There's a lot of people that put their reputations on the line, both for Liv and for the PGA Tour, because you got to think all the flack and all the stuff that the family members of the Liv players took.
Yep.
And because they decided to go where the money was, and rightfully so, because I can tell you that somebody asked me about this, AJ. I want to ask you this. As I was going out the league, brother was not, I couldn't pick him up and put him down like I used to.
It happens.
And some league came from Poland,
right,
and said, Jay, we gonna pay you twice as much that you ever made in the league. I'm gone.
Yeah, it's not a hard decision.
Right.
I'm like, babe, we about to go to Poland.
Right. I'm going to be over there, and I might change my last name to whatever you need to be. That's what I'm going to be going into.
So it's a hard thing, right? When you hear it, it's like almost a no-brainer.
Right.
But then you first hear it, but once you start investigating, same with my situation when I went to the UFL.
Right.
You know, it wasn't no payday, but it was a thing where the biggest thing that stood out for me was I get to play home one more time
in Omaha.
I could play in Omaha.
Right.
You know, I thought that was good. I didn't really care about the pay. And then the other part was, if I play now, I'm gonna be in shape to get picked up by an NFL team.
Right.
Come our season. Our season ended before or right after Thanksgiving.
Right.
So you got a whole month of football. That's playoff push.
Right.
So you got guys, Green Bay or any playoff team looking for a running back.
Right.
You know, that was my two priorities to play in that league. One, stay in football shape for an NFL team to pick me up, and two, I get to be home again.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought that was the coolest thing. But now from a pay schedule, it was none of that.
Yeah.
But there were rumblings already year one that started to go up in terms of us. Some players, not all players, getting paid on time. Things like that. You know, and it was a league that was established I say fast, and so that time's fast. Something gets set up fast. We already know that's not going to work. That's not a good recipe for success. So you got to take your time, build it up. And they thought they had a good recipe, but I remember doing the PR out in Vegas for it. We went. They invited all the big name players, myself, Jeff Garcia, and a few other guys. And I remember meeting the commissioner of the UFL, and he kept enforcing the fact. He said to me all of us, and I just like, this is over. I said, this ain't gonna last long. When he said, we are competing against the NFL, and I'm like,
it ain't gonna work. You know that shield
I'm
is
like,
strong.
I just like, does he realize this is like, it's not even David and Goliath.
Right.
This is like
David and the Pebble.
right.
You just a little
no,
peon.
yeah, no. And like that's been around for almost at that time almost 100 years.
Right.
So it's just the mindset behind the leadership in this is like, you know, you want to attract the right players. So I'll leave. You want to attract the right players, but with the money that they'll see it and come running.
Right.
But the second thing is, as a business person, is how am I going to sustain this?
Right.
You know, how am I going to keep this going for
it's
5,
easy
10,
the first years,
years,
everything sounds good. Once you get past the honeymoon, you know, those checks get a little bit tighter. I forget to write it on time and stuff like that. But good segment there with Amon Green, Jay Foreman. Coming back after this break, I'm going to step aside. Amon Green has a special guest.
Yep.
And spread the word about esports. Has one of your
one of my game
managers.
Yep.
So you guys can dive into it for about 10 to 15 minutes. But this is Old School, Jay Foreman, DP, with Amon Green as special guest. We'll be right back after this break.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the attention of the Nebraska Lottery that when people hear a radio commercial in their car for one of our lotto games, Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lucky for Life, they tend to begin daydreaming about how they'll spend the prize money if they win, instead of paying attention to the road. So please, when I tell you that Nebraska Lottery Lotto games offer big money and big fun, keep your mind on driving. Do not start thinking about all the things you could buy if you win. Things like bright red sports cars, tropical vacations, 100-inch TVs, hot tubs, SUVs, a new computer, motorboats.
Bob, snap out of it.
Oh, good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Perhaps I should go home now.
You better let me drive.
Lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This Easter, focus on your family instead of dishes with the Venue Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in-house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8 and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Not quite DP and J here, but we are on the ticket. Yep, we're good here. It's myself, Amon Green, along with my game manager / what else?
Nebraska Esports Club president.
Nebraska Esports Club president Z. There you go. So I will go like I was raised to, ladies first on this. So Z, explain to everyone what you're doing for the club team and then what we'll be doing together, coach, player, or coach, game manager, come fall for the Nebraska Esports program.
Yeah, of course. So I'm the president, and I kind of just help run a lot of the organizational sides of things. I love to be at meetings. I love to be at meetups, any events. I try to make it to those so I can just kind of make sure everything's going well. Yep. I try to make sure all of my game managers and all of the officers are all in a line. We make sure we're all communicating and everything because that's a big thing if your people are not communicating together. And then as game manager, I help put together teams for our League of Legends team. And I work a lot with them. I work a lot with our Mario Kart team because I helped set that up as well. Nice. And I'm going to try to my best to be kind of involved in every game because I want to be able to understand mildly what every game does.
Same with
as
me.
The president, I feel like I should be there and be able to understand and root for my teams. And so that's kind of what we're doing. And on top of that, we have a few of our members doing the Big Red Esports radio show on Saturdays at noon.
At noon. So that was fun. We did the first one already. Myself, Z, Jaden, Colin, and Lexi.
Yep.
We're all in attendance, but it'll be
and then we're gonna
rotating, have more people.
Hopefully have Sam in there.
Yep.
Some other people come and join us, talk about different perspectives. Pretty excited.
Yep, different perspectives. Our gaming journeys, or as I say on my podcast, my gaming origin story.
Your lore.
Yep. So the lore, why got you into gaming, but so the Nebraska Esports program, correct me if I'm wrong, been around since 2018 or 2017?
Oh, it's been 3 to 4 years, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So right before COVID.
Well, that's kind of when we all came together.
Yep,
before then, we were all separate clubs.
Yep.
But now we're unified, and that's kind of where it happened.
Good. Because you got total close to between, I say 60 plus players.
Yeah, just about
60 plus players, probably 8 or 9 different games, and looking to suit out more rosters. And won't have to be big rosters because it'll be single player games like Madden, 2K, and FIFA, which we don't have no sports games, but
we do want rosters for them. Yeah, we absolutely want rosters for them if you're interested.
1 or 2 players to come vet out a Madden games and FIFA games and Rocket League and stuff. But we'll probably do it just like, because I love what y'all did with the club team of having the community nights, just to bring people out to see the numbers and see who may be interested in each game. So for that, from the club side of it, reason why I'm here, so I'm teaching, so lecturing intro to esports, and then also in the fall I'll be lecturing intro to sports media. But then also as a faculty member to make it, make a varsity roster, and then have basically funding to support a program. That's why I got brought in as by Sherry Vale, the Dean of Students at the College of Journalism and Mass Communication. So with that, then we could have our own on-campus facility, which we're working to build out, and then we could, do events there. Get the student body involved, get the club members and the varsity team members, already that are part of the program for the last 4 years, can then earn their spots through the tryouts that happens at the club level, to then continue that, I say, process, because I love it, because then the players, you can find out who the best players are and who can earn a roster. Those players for the varsity side of it will be earning, for the ones coming in from high school, be earning a scholarship and or transfers from other schools. But the ones that are currently here, they'll be able to be on a varsity squad now, get a jersey, don't have to pay for it, hat and backpack and all I say the players.
We got some gear going.
Yeah, the players kit.
Yes,
where
absolutely.
if you earn that varsity spot, you don't have to pay for it. But if you're a club team member, it will be business as usual. Where if you whatever merchandise that we'll be selling for our program, you're welcome to buy it. From
we're gonna have a shop open.
Facility.
Yeah, we're gonna have a shop open to get merch from. I do think, to answer that question that we are being asked, that we will be trying to create teams for newer games. I know we're trying to do that for Overwatch currently.
Yep.
And I would assume that we just continue doing that with newer football games as well.
Yeah, with Madden coming.
Yeah,
well, Madden,
I would assume.
I'll say NCAA 24 coming out next year.
Yes.
But Madden's already here. 2K's already here. FIFA.
So with those newer games, I think we will have our own rosters for those as well.
And also remember, because we have Xavier in class,
which I'm super excited to see that stuff.
And he's a big Apex Legends player. So we're looking we're looking for players for Apex Legends. We're looking for players for.
I'll take Fortnite players.
I'll
take Fortnite players.
Yeah, there you go.
We are willing to open teams if you come to us and bring us a team that you want to put together, a game that you're interested in. I am completely open to just allowing anyone compete, because I think that's the fun of it, Make sure you have a space to be in.
Yep. And I think one more before I forget, Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes, we do need a Rainbow Six Siege team. We have a tournament set up actually in the fall if we do get a team, which means you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. We got it all covered for you.
Right. And the beautiful thing I love about what the club team and what Z is now being the president of, before previous was Jay, who I met right away, is just how they function and how they run the club team. So my thing is, this is a nice, shiny car already running good. I'm just going to make sure I keep the wheels clean, get this thing started in the fall. But I say that is basically what we're going to be doing come September, or say late August, early September for the fall, and then on into the spring of 2024. So that is basically the esports program. I'm the director and head coach, and this is Z, the club president and game manager. So thanks. Thanks a lot, Z.
Austin, we'll get you out of here, bro. Thank you for what you do and for manning the fort today. Greatly appreciate it. We thank the folks here at Buffalo Wings and Rings for being so warm and so welcoming to us all, and let us spend the day with them as well. Congratulations to our winners. And don't go anywhere. Ticket Weeknights will take you through. We've got some new shows. Cluster Johnson joins Strickland. That's going to be a good one. Box show starts at 7 o'clock. We got a full night for you here on 93.7 The Ticket. Austin Orman, thank you, kind sir.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it